And we're back. Beautiful. Checking in with you. Sunday evening, and we're likely to gap up. I'm not going to check if we're live because I think we are. I don't want to spend any time with that. So, but I have to do this, no? I have to post it everywhere. So, just going to wait here a little bit until people are rushing in. Rushing might be a big word, but so yeah, we're likely to see a gap here, guys. Again, on sad circumstances, but it is what it is. I hope you had a great weekend and all that good stuff. I'm gonna check anyway, just to be sure. Oh yeah. It's just my partner in crime here. Every night she's with me. Yeah? Every single night or evening when I'm here, she's close by. Just gonna upload some stuff here while people are coming in. So again, feel free to ask questions, you know. I appreciate good questions and all that. Yes, always be thankful. It's sometimes it might be an addiction. I agree. But again, some people love to watch soccer, some people like to play golf. So yeah, for sure. Or at least, you know, trying to anticipate you can. What do you mean, Albert? Enjoy while you can. Or last time. Yes, ego, oil, gas looks way too good. I agree. Ah, true. True. Yeah. I didn't see your first comment there, Albert. I agree. Sorry. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. And even though you get to the summit, there's always another leg up, I guess. You know, another obstacle. I'm just gonna upload to the YouTube and this one here and the Substack as well. Boom, off you go. Off you go. Yeah, it makes sense. I just didn't see your first comment. That's why I didn't understand. But yeah, exactly. So the plan was just to, be here, see what happens, just because we had the big news. And I've seen some, again, I hate news-driven events, but they're also interesting. So let's have a good chat, really, and have a good time. Rare earth metals, but firstly, let's check EGO. I think that's oil and gas, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's gold. What is the other one that I'm thinking of then? I don't know. Yeah, looks good, man. Looks good. Resumption right there. Yeah, Eldorado. I know that there is an oil stock that has like EGO. Maybe not, but there is one very similar. That's an oil stock. But yeah, back testing here, trying to break. So yeah, overall, short term, long term, a machine. A machine. We have REMX, by the way, one of the good calls we've made. So overall, absolutely. 44. Now we're sitting at 100. I mean, come on. Sick. ILU. I assume it's this one here. Oh, that's tight. Yeah, it looks like it wants to continue. I just needed to check. Kind of like flagging up here, right? Maybe more like that. I think it needs to get above, obviously, 7.20. And then it starts to look for higher prices. The green flag on the RMX, or the green flag, which is good, I guess. Yeah, I think ILU overall looks. It might have a little bit more to do here, but other than that, it's. Why does it look so strange? Do I have adjusted on? One second here. I'm gonna check something before we go on. I think this one is correct. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it needs to, of course, do a little bit more here, but that's still okay. 7.20 is likely the level to get above in the short term. Let's do a Sayu. Let's do a ratio. I haven't checked this ratio, I guess. Yeah, boom. Definitely. Boom. Again, quite a beautiful triangle, to be fair. Initially, it actually looked very good, no? But underperforming heavily against First Majestic. Still, higher highs and higher lows, but just checking here what. So yeah, definitely. No, that one is for sure. Just see if also, I think that EXK is gonna do some outperformance from here on, but how is the chart looking by itself? I mean, it doesn't look bad. That one there, $6 initial long, trying to fight all-time highs and triangle highs and all that. So once that clears, you start to look higher. I mean, there should be plenty. Yeah, HE is like one of the go-to stocks, right? Everyone knows that, right? Yeah, absolutely, Albert. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, the chart itself still looks good to me, no? It still looks fine. We're just fighting the all-time highs here. Let's do the like that. You can see here we're just profit taking, people trying to short, but ultimately we should go higher. And that's might be where you pick up more momentum once you start to get away from that prior high. So we have half an hour until yeah, half an hour. I just want to check something here. Sorry for yarning, but I just want to check these Chinese stocks. Ooh, if you hold BABA, that should scare you a little bit. I'm not saying that it's maybe you want to adjust the bull flag just a fraction here. I wouldn't say scare. I think it's okay. But we're definitely correcting, It could be, but definitely in a bull flag for Baba. Good old Baba. 42. All in sustained cost. Okay, increased in that even. Do anyone know what the average is, for like if you take in all the mining stocks? Well, what's the average all-in sustained cost per silver, roughly? Well, that's still okay. It's still okay, Baba. It's still okay. 20? Brazil looks like a no-brainer to me. How is Bitcoin doing? That could be telling. I want to show you XLM here. Again, I know we don't have many crypto guys in, but let's just delete all that crap. Go away. I think we're going to go down to 0.11. That might be a good place to pick up something, You have basically been resetting the entire Trump re-election pump there. You can play a very tight stop. XRP is holding up nicely still. So this is a monthly candlestick. And yes, we're coming down hard, but I mean, long term, it's not too bad. Could it be better? Yes, but again, there might be an opportunity waiting. But Discover silver. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean all the gold miners just look so incredibly good. Euro, yes, Euro. This is monthly candlesticks, and yeah, 24, 25 was. Oh, we even have a trade on. Yeah, exactly. I thought so. Again, breaking of that. Stop loss below the recent swing. Maximum stop, by the way. Target, what is that? 73. Pretty high up. Yeah. It looks fantastic long term. Any daily time frame pullback setups, whatever, is a buy. Bullish, that is. ACM CF. Oh, that's the AMC. I want to do the AMC instead. As you can see here, I'm still waiting. That white line there. 0.85, let's say. That is your ticket in. So there will be two buy signals here on this one. Horizontal level, a bit early, aggressive, and then you have the big downtrend here, which again, and then once you get above here and break, that is also a long. So I think it's bottoming here, absolutely. Absolutely, I think that's the bottom. It just needs to confirm. Right. But the bottom has been ongoing for 9 months now. Or likely the bottom. Again, we don't really know. Small cap oil. Ooh, I like small cap. Rico. Let's do Rico. Renaissance Energy Africa. Okay. I like this one. I can already see something really good that I do like. Depending on how you draw that, that is a back test, right? So breaking 25-year downtrend, back testing, the high, horizontal level at 0.83, very important. We're above now. I will say that when we really start to pick up some speed here, it is right there. Boom. Again, we have been breaking the 5-year, breakout, backtest, that's fine. But I think once we start to clear 1.35, roughly, that is when you get more speed and you're likely gonna go higher. So, but yeah, it looks good. But I would wait still, even though it's 50% higher. But maybe just wait for that. Again, if you're aggressive, sure. Maybe buy a portion, whatever. But this one here seems to be the most important thing on the chart after that breakout. So yeah, it looks that's very nice, very interesting, very much. And again, no music. We did that for 2 periods or sessions, and people didn't like it, so we took it off. We took it off. So now it's only me trying to stay awake. Again, it's midnight here, so. Oh, Solaris, yeah. No, it's not that one. Ooh, that is also straight off the bat interesting, isn't it? Just to keep it simple, just going to draw the low end of it, just to see if we have anything connecting. Just going to... yes, that's okay. Bit of a fake there, that's okay. So I'm purely interested in what's going on here. Again, you can see here I often use the Bollinger Band because it guides me better. I really, really like the Bollinger Band. Mostly when I'm not doing, posts on Twitter or anything. I like it. That's how I would frame it. I would say, entry-wise, I want that candle to be broken. So maybe... 0.6. I know it's a bit away from the breakout, but 0.6, and I think it's a done deal and that we're going higher. Especially if we get a little like that, yeah? Yeah. The blue one there basically doesn't matter, roughly speaking. So yeah, it looks like something that should have your interest and you should be waiting for. I agree. Our veil was tricky because, yeah, exactly. Oh no, I thought of a different ticker. I don't know, different. This was my initial analysis on veil. So that was the before we got to this crap here, when we started to really pull back from 12 down to 8. This was the breakout, the big one. And then this one here looked amazing. Again, just waiting for a break to the upside, but it didn't produce. Breakdown backtest, major downtrend into yet another backtest. Right. And then you can see here, downtrend breaking, and then we waited for these highs to be broken. So we broke here, but we just needed a little bit extra. So 10.5 or something was the long. And now we have gotten back above both triangles. So Snowline Gold, that is STG. Yes. Yeah, it just keeps on ripping, right? Bit of a nasty weekly candle a few weeks ago, together with everything else, but ultimately, maybe we flag here for some time. But that, again, that's an uptrend. How can we draw it? Can we draw the uptrend? I think we can. At least the lower end looks good. I would do something like that, maybe. And then I only add them to the chart if they make sense on the upper end, which they do. Yes. That's your uptrend, really. As long as you're within that, you just do nothing. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That is good. Again, target-wise, the problem is we do not have much data, right? We only have like 2 years. Is it on the New York Stock Exchange? Snowline Gold? Maybe we have more data. No. Okay. I would just keep it simple. That's probably it. The targets, yeah, you can't really do much. Thank you always. again, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Are you also waiting for the open? Again, we're probably going to gap away, but again, I'm not really keen on gaps, breakouts that happens partly due to what's it called, news. Oh yeah, sorry, lads. Brazil looks amazing. Yeah, SID. I have a position in that one. Which was done down here. So yeah, the past month hasn't been great, but overall I'm expecting. Why is it? Maybe it should be on. I don't know. Anyway. Why is it? My adjusted for dividends is I don't know. Adjust for dividend. Am I completely insane here or what? But yeah, it's grinding, choppy grinding upwards. As long as we hold the lower end, I'm happy. And a break of that would of course be a major event. And then we're gonna target 5 plus. It shouldn't be on. Okay. Thank God, I was going to be insane. Good. Yeah, I still think it's a bit early, again, in the SID chart overall, but my expectations is to hold this for like, again, 3 years, 5 years maybe. It is not at a place where it has like a lot of momentum going on, but it doesn't mean you can't buy it early, like the REMX for instance, right? Again, down here you don't really have a lot of momentum, but this one just kept going, obviously, but CHN. I know this one. Let's check. No, I agree. It's a mess. It's a bloody mess. I agree. I don't know. It's that's precious metals. This is the past 2 years. I agree. It's a bit of a mess overall. Difficult to do. I mean, maybe if you were to look at from a wave count perspective, if I can find it somewhere. Well, depending on what you get here, that could maybe be the first clarity. But again, it's too early to say. You don't even know if that's the third leg. Maybe it's down here. Right. But yes, it is very all over the place. I agree. I would frame it like this. it was a shame. Again, that's a clear breakout, and then we turn back in, right? And then all of a sudden you start to oscillate around that level. So if you get that, if you see something like that over the next few months here, and then you break, I would buy that. If you get something like that, that makes somewhat sense in a messy chart, somewhat. But zooming out, you can see it's a bit of a wild beast. Yeah, so many mixed signals, but we are having a reset in moving average here. So if you start to get that curl, then that even confirms it even more to me. If you get a count here and then you break out to the upside, that's probably what you should be looking for. Wisla. Oh yeah, Wisla. I love Wisla. One of my best stocks, actually. Oh yeah. Wisla. Even discussed that one on the Substack like a few days ago, like a week ago. Buying the dip can be tricky, but sometimes it makes a lot of sense. And that was basically this was one of the best performers, until recently. Then we dropped 50% into double support. Downtrend broken. Yep. And then we said if we start to trade above that high, 5.55, that's your long. Stop below 4.6 or so. Resumption. If we ever dip into the yellow, the long-term yellow, that is very dangerous for this chart here. But yeah, dip buying, not something that I do often, but when the opportunity is there, definitely worth doing. Especially, again, I think silver and gold is going to go way higher. So after a 50% drop, that seemed like a potential good opportunity. Potential. Yeah, there's some, especially right now, I think risk reward right now in the oil sector is criminally high. Again, let's see what happens with oil over the coming days here. Like I explained before going live on some of the videos that I did, we're likely to see a breakaway gap in oil. Let's do that actually. So let's just remove a little bit here so we don't get confused. So this is oil, 20 years, kept simple. Big trend line going for a long time, breakout, back test. Okay. That's the infamous 5-year wedge. And as you can see here, we're trying again. We did have a shoulder, head shoulder break confirmation this Friday on oil. And that to me is likely the breakout moment where we also take out 70 and then we go on a very big move over the next few years. Now we have the sad news, in Iran and all that, and now we're likely going to, at least the latest thing I saw was 7% up on oil. Let's do 7%. You can see we start to break out. So that could be, again, two scenarios: a breakaway gap, where you break away from a very important formation and you basically don't close that gap. Very bullish because many people will be waiting to buy the gap fill, which doesn't come. Or you break out and then you start to fizzle again, right? And then you can lose momentum and the breakout will get drawn out. So, yeah. Yep, stagflation. Stagflation, and I have a chart that shows you very, very clearly when it started, very clearly, night and day. No, not that one. Not something. Gold divided by PPI. Oh, is it PPI? PPI? Yeah. Yeah, I actually saw some very funky stuff with Jim Carrey. That's scary. It's funny you mentioned it because, see, now it doesn't go all the way back for whatever reason, this ticker here. Bloody mess. I need the entire thing. Two charts I want to show you on stagflation. You know, early 2024. Boom. The start of stagflation. And then also, probably the most noticeable, which is against inflation. Crooked numbers, by the way. Oh, fuck's sake. But according to their numbers even, look at, again, this is top tier, you know, macro chart. August 2024. Major cup and handle breakout against inflation. So you're dividing gold against CPI, which is hugely understated, by the way. You know that. And that's the start. This is stagflation. That's, yeah. It's funny you mentioned it, Jens, because I saw like a short or something showing him at an award show, I think, and it was he looked very I don't know. Yeah, I agree. That, yeah. A shame. SM Energy. No real clarity. SM here. It's still struggling a little bit compared to its peers. Huge hammer though on the weekly. Why is that? A bit tricky this one is. A bit tricky. The lower end is clean as day. The upper end, do we have a... no. A bit tricky this one here. I don't have a real... I don't know exactly. On SM? No. Yeah, that's the hammer, you know, heavy reversal. Heavy. I'm just trying to see if it makes sense. Now we have to get ready for the open also, yeah? There is something going on there. That's probably your focus right now. That year-long channel. And then we have some lows here that's also important, like that. So let's say 26 and change, 27. Bit of an unorthodox setup here. Not something I do ever so often, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start to break this stuff here, that we also start to... I wouldn't be surprised, but again, it's not it's not a go-to setup, that's for sure. Raise and dividend, yeah, that can definitely pull down any chart, you know. Yeah, 26, 27 seems to be a level of interest. And that's said with a bit of, man, maybe. Tricky. Yeah, I think. And then you target that, false breakdown and all that stuff. But likely you will break back in and backtest to confirm the channel. You can see here it tried here, but it couldn't. So if it does, it's likely to backtest. And if you ever take out the high after, then cool. Let's get ready for and remember, I have to say this, we're just looking at a 1 minute chart. We don't really care, but where is the Saturday? Boom, 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 boom. This is your, we even reset, cool, that's nice. This is your over the weekend gold price. And actually during yesterday we were up 6%. And then we did a reset, very typical. So if this is true, we should open up at 2.5%. Hey you. Nice of you for tuning in. 1 minute before we open. That's good. Just in time. Just in time. The stream is looking good. Nice. Oops. Anyway. No, you're not late. You're not late. That's fine. Well, you got there in time, right? We talked. I wanted to stream due to the open, so, and you got here 1 minute before. Perfect. Just like me in high school and university and all that. Just in time. Just in time. Should we use a ticker that is instant? If so, this one should move on the beat here, because the Oanda is 5 minute delayed, but I like them more for other reasons, right? Remember, we closed the week last week very, very strong after this coil right there. And a lot of stuff happened during Wednesday, remember? A lot of shenanigans went on at the CME. A lot of stuff happened. So. Some short-term momentum structures broken. Again, I hate news-related, especially something like that, yeah. Because it gives that uncertainty, of pullbacks and all that. So yeah, let's see. Should we do silver as well, just to check here on the TS? Really? Ice, maybe? Yeah. I'm actually glad we didn't gap up 5% on silver and 4% on gold. That's actually That's actually good. I think. Difficult, but again, I hate if we did like 10% on gold and, yeah. Yeah, China opens in 2 hours, and I will not be up for that, so. That's for sure. So the gap was less than I feared. That's good. No. I will be sleeping. Likely sleeping. Oh, fantastic, isn't it? Friday. And this is Wednesday right here, where right here, again, there's many tweets where you can look into that, not from me, but right here, when we had the future expiry going into the next month of contracts, we had a glitch. I think their Amiga, which controls trillions of transactions, burned down. So anyway, and I read this, but I forgot about it. One of the best, Francis Hunt, showed a tweet of actually deep pocket people buying option calls. Roughly, I think it's like here. I think it was like 18,000 or something like that. December this year on gold. And this is not, your retail trader like you and I. So, yeah. And again, it could be the same people that did options calls. I think it was like 90 when silver was at 30 or something, with very short duration, and they were correct. So, oil, boom, yeah, there it is. Oh, we basically drew in the gap. Isn't that funny? That's funny. So yeah, gapping up as fully expected. And now comes the thing, right? Do we close the gap and then go? Which actually would be for my I will always have, let's say we start to, I will always have that little voice back in my head. We might close. So let's just get it over with. Backtesting the 5-year wedge here this week, maybe next week, and then all of a sudden we can start to look higher again. What we don't want to see, again, we always have to look at both sides of whatever coin we're looking at. As long as we remain above that neckline, going back into the wedge or not, I don't care really. But basically, as long as we hold, let's say 66 or 65, maybe a little bit lower if you want to give it a little bit more wiggle, then oil is in a really good state. And if you really want to play with the biggest stop right now, is the right shoulder lows at 61. So, yeah. What was the gap? 11. Okay, that's insane. I'm gonna check some momentum charts here. This is daily momentum, by the way. Daily. We have 50 people watching the futures open. Midnight in Europe, at least. That's good. That's a win, I think. That's a win. And you could have been watching soccer or whatever. Or closed until Tuesday, okay. What about China? They are back, right? Isn't this actually the Monday, I mean, now, isn't that the first full day after the Chinese New Year? If I'm not mistaken. Isn't it? I think it is. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, it was last week. Okay. Okay. Now my favorite ticker is opening up here. Remember, this is 5 minute delayed. 5 minutes. And silver closed the gap, which I like. Now go higher. Go higher from here. Thank you very much indeed. Just keep going higher. Gap closed. I like that. Gold didn't gap close, which can still happen, by the way. You can see here again, this is 15 minutes, going back to Wednesday, February. So right now, 15 minute, we are at resistance right now. So that's the momentum it needs to break in order to actually go higher. You can see the ceiling here. So maybe we close that gap and go, I don't know. I think I saw a tweet also that GDX is the best performing, or at least one of them, of the bigger names, at least, ETF or sector for the past year or so. Not a surprise to us, but not a surprise. Turned very bullish 2 years ago. 2 years, not 4, 2 years. 2 long years. And that was when gold broke 2,100 and change. And also it broke out against CPI. I don't own enough oil stocks. No, I mean, for the next 3-5 years, I think oil stocks will do tremendously well. Newmont, did it outperform Palantir? That's sick. Oh, NEM, yeah, of course. NEM, I think it's Newmont, yeah? No, remember some charts or like brokers, they don't show gaps. So no matter gap or not, they will just fill the entire space from the closing price up. So it's different. Yeah. Yeah, it started to turn right there. Beautiful. It turned this year, yeah. January. As we head into this year, the GDX broke out both short term and I would assume long term here. This is drawn quickly, by the way. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, it has gap in the past? Okay, I don't know then, Mr. Sam. I just know that some tickers don't show gaps. Yeah. So yeah, well, I actually thought, and I'm actually, I would say glad that we didn't pop more. I think. But yeah, let's see what happens when the Chinese people gets back online. Chinese people. It's getting late, isn't it? It's getting late, no? That's for fun. Again, now we're looking at a 10-second chart, so I couldn't really care less. But it's always fun to see if we hit, even though these charts are way more noisy than others. Just for fun and giggles. So you would have gone long right around there. Let's see. Again, we don't really care. Let's see. We might even get stopped out straight out of the bat. Yeah, I will also be going to bed real soon here. So again, oil was probably the biggest popper here. Let's see. The thing is now, again, if you take a lot of people in, again, there are a lot of people waiting to buy at around 70 and above. And then the danger comes if, again, they have stops in place somewhere on the chart, right? So if we start to maybe close the gap here, you can trigger some stops all of a sudden, right? So, because if we start to get too much below, again, this is selling power basically, or could turn into selling power at some point. So, short term, difficult. So that's it, actually. We've done, how long time did we do? An hour? 1.5. That's a win. Have an amazing day, and let's see where we are tomorrow. Who knows? It's crazy times as always, so cheers, guys.